Hey there, it's Blue here with another yoga snack. Today I've got some really nice movement to help you find some release in the neck and shoulders. And you can do this one pretty much anywhere. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so we're going to start off with our feet a little bit wider than the hips. And then just start to point our feet out towards the edges of the mat on something like a 45-degree angle. Then bring your weight down into your heels and start to soften the knees. We're just sitting down into a very passive Utthita Konasana, or goddess pose. Now we want to bring the ribs in and scoop the tailbone under a little bit and start to clench the glutes a little bit, so we're supported in the hips here. And this is just going to keep us stable and steady in the hips. But we don't want to be working too hard. So don't get too carried away with bending deeply into the knees or anything like that. Now, from here we're just going to roll the shoulders out a little bit. So start with one shoulder and then the other. And you'll notice our posture here is just really keeping our lower half of our body really nice and sturdy, so we can really focus on shifting around into the shoulders. So once again, just taking intuitive movement here. Not getting too caught up in right or wrong, just feeling it out. Now, I recommend having palms sort of facing down and a softness in the hands and a softness in the elbows. This is going to translate up into the shoulders. And then you can start to sort of give yourself a little bit more of a twist here if you like. Then maybe come back in the opposite direction. And these movements are going to translate into the sort of next couple of movements nicely. So just start to feel the body free up a little bit. Start to find your breath even. So a few of those. Just breathing deeply. Exhaling through the nose. Inhaling through the nose. And then we'll just bring our hands down in front of our body here. What we're going to do is soften the elbows and sort of let the fingers curl in slightly, so sort of claw the hands. Then what we're going to do is draw the shoulders in just a touch. So you're sort of rounding in and closing in on the chest a little bit here. Draw the shoulders up in towards the ears. Then draw the shoulder blades together and then slide the shoulder blades down the spine. And then let's move like this, really isolate that movement. So see if you can really feel the shoulder blades slide up and back down the spine. So the shoulder blades sort of separate away from one another just a little bit, not being forceful. And you'll feel this beautiful in-breath happen as you bring the shoulders up towards the ears, and then exhale and just let the shoulders fall away. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And exhaling as the shoulders fall away. Maintain that stability in the lower half of the body, so you might feel the weight fall forward into the toes. Try to keep the weight in the heels and lifting through the arches. And let's take a few more of those. So we're really just concentrating on moving the shoulders around a little bit and lifting the arms. So use the sort of the strength of your shoulders, your trapezius, to lift the weight of the arms and then let it fall away. So there's a sort of on-off sort of situation happening here. We're switching the shoulders on, we're switching the trapezius. All the muscles around the neck on, and then just letting go. Inhale. And exhale. Let the arms be heavy. They're not doing any work. It's all happening up here. And then release. Once again, start to take some intuitive movement if you like. And we're going to actually start in the opposite direction here. Now this is there's a little bit more strength sort of built into this one. It's really nice. So we're doing the same movement. We're drawing the shoulder blades together and lifting up. So keep that clawing of the hands. It's going to help you stay relaxed in the arms. Now, as you bring the hands down, imagine you're sort of pushing a ball under the water. So there's a sort of isometric strength here. Really visualize that happening. Visualize the resistance. And you're going to start to feel a real strength happening up here in the chest, in the pecs, and even behind or at the back of the neck a little bit as well. And then let's move like that. Inhale. Push that ball down. Weight is in the heels. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the arms switch on. Inhale, shoulder blades sliding up the spine. Now feel that resistance pushing down. Inhale. And exhale. Just feel the abdominals tighten a little bit on the exhale. Inhale, chest expands. Flare the side body here. And exhale. We'll do 2 or 3 more. Inhale. Or do as many as you like, really. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, pushing away. Really try to push the hands down into the floor now. Really get that beach ball under the water. It's a beach ball now. Pressing it down under the water. Inhale. Last one. Exhale, press it down. And then release. And start to move the shoulders again. So start to find that intuitive movement, whatever that might be. You might be moving the head around a little bit. Try not to let the knees fall in. So try to keep the weight in the blades of the feet a little bit, lifting through the arches. Just so we're not putting any unnecessary pressure on the knees. Okay, so we're going to transition into our next movement now. So I'm going to spin around and step my right foot forward and my left foot back. I'm getting pretty close to the wall here, but play with it a little bit. It doesn't matter how close you get to the wall. We're looking to open into the shoulders, so it'll be different for different sides of your body and for different bodies in general. So play around with it a little bit. My left hip is next to the wall and my left arm is extending out. Now it's going to be tempting to bring it up, way up high. Let's try to bring the arm down level with the shoulder or even below. Not getting too carried away and twisting into it. Try to keep your chest square, or at least facing forward towards the front of the mat. So now we're actually going to start to press this left shoulder forward towards the front of the mat. You're going to really feel your armpit kind of roll away from your body, like you're really trying to press your armpit towards the wall. Now from here we're going to start to bend into this right knee, and this is really going to open us up into the shoulder. Now let's create length in the spine, so we're going to want to dip into the lower back. So let's compensate by tucking the tailbone, and then let's thread this right hand up and just find lift in this right side body. Press your left sort of pec and left shoulder forwards. Now start to press your left hip forwards and you're spinning into this left heel. So that left foot's on a sort of a 45-degree angle or something like that. Make sure it's comfortable. You can bend as deeply into this knee as you like. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to reach towards the ceiling with this right hand and sort of unplug the shoulder from the socket. So I'm not drawing it down into the body or getting too firm with anything. Reaching up. Then I'm going to bring this right hand down, just up sort of to the upper edge of my pec here, just below my right clavicle, my right collarbone. And I'm going to draw that pec, that right pec, sort of smearing or stretching the skin away from my midline. And I can really feel this lovely stretch out over the left shoulder, a tingle in the fingertips as well, so that's really nice. There's a fair bit of work to be done here. We want to stay engaged in the front body and open that right pec. Now, the final stage is we can even start to look out over the right shoulder, and this is going to bring it up into the neck as well. Take a deep breath in here. And a long exhale. We're going to stay for a few breaths. Lengthen through those left fingertips of the extended arm. open out over this right side body and then lengthen out over the left opening edge of the neck there as the chin is out over the right shoulder. And try not to tuck too much, but do play with rocking into the chin a little bit and playing with sort of feeling out those sticky points. There's forward momentum through my right knee here. I'm just taking a couple more breaths. Let it cook in, let it sink in and settle. Deep breath in, long exhale. Deep breath in, long exhale. And then release, like really gently release. Step back to the center of the mat and just roll the shoulders out a little bit. Then you might just bring the shoulders up towards the ears and just sort of dump them down away from the ears, let them fall away from the ears. And you might notice that this left shoulder actually feels a little bit lower than the other. There'll definitely be less tension there. Cool. So we'll start on the other side now. So if I can figure that out with the right foot, no, the left foot, facing forward, back foot is on a 45-degree angle. Once again, play around with the distancing from the wall. We have two different sides of the body, but that doesn't mean they're identical to one another. So I like to imagine when I'm transitioning between sides of the body like this, you're sort of two different people. So get an idea for what this right side of yourself feels like. Now, I'm going to actually bring myself in a little bit closer. Again, I want to bring the hand up higher, but that can sort of cinch and sort of crunch into the neck. It can be a little bit hunchy. So we want to soften the shoulder away from the ear and reach out, maybe even slightly below the shoulder. And now I'm pressing forward through the right shoulder, like I'm trying to press my armpit onto the wall here. And then I'm going to start to bend into this left knee. It doesn't have to be a deep bend. Now I can feel my lower back is sort of taking a lot of the weight here. So I'm actually going to shift my foot back just a touch, scoop the tailbone under and press this right hip forward and then bring myself forward. Now, shining forward through the chest, bringing this right hip forward as always. And here we are. I'm going to extend the left arm up and sort of reach my arm up out of that shoulder socket. Remember to press forward through the right shoulder, maintain that resistance, that lovely opening, that lovely stretch. I'm going to bring my left hand down just above my left pec, so maybe my index fingers touching my clavicle there, and then start to stretch the skin away from the midline. And that's really going to help you open up into the chest as well. Taking a couple of breaths. This might be plenty. If you want to go all the way, then you might start to look out over the left shoulder and always sort of playing around with it a little bit. Now I can already feel there's more resistance on this side. This is my dominant arm, this is my right arm, so there's always a little bit more tension. And I can't remember how long we spent in the last posture, but I'm guessing it was about 6 to 10 breaths. So take your time, move at your pace, stay in the posture as long as you like. Reach out over the right fingertips, press forward through the right shoulder. Keep front body engaged, try not to let the lower ribs flare too much and keep that opening happening in the left shoulder as well, or this opening in the left pec, sorry. Few breaths here. You might start to feel a lot of heat build because there's a fair bit going on here. Inhale. Start to feel that right shoulder relax a little bit, so it's sort of getting used to where it is. You'll feel the weight melt down towards the floor a little bit, and that's really good. That's that sort of phase change happening. So let's stay with it for a few more breaths. Coming in and out of the neck stretch. Lifting the chin. See what works for you. Deep breath in. This will be our last one. Exhale. Now, let's gently straighten the left leg out just to take that pressure off the right shoulder. And bring the arms down. Step back to the center of the mat. And roll the shoulders out a little bit. Notice each side of your body. Notice what the shoulders feel like. Notice where you are. Notice where your breath is. Then we'll take a deep breath in one more time. Bring the shoulders up towards the ears. And let them fall away. Let all effort fall out of the body. And that is our Warrior One variation for neck and shoulder release. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care. Namaste.